Wake up, Jacob. It's me, IP. And if you like the vibe, like, share, subscribe. Uh, the hits just keep on coming, guys. You know, in the midst of this whole quarantine, coronavirus, COVID 19, whichever word you guys want to use, pandemic, we can go on and on and on. Did a video about all the events closing. NFL was already over, but things are changing. You know, you get a lot of the sports analysts. They're doing broadcasting in their homes. You got large events and gatherings. They're closing. You have a lot of things going on. And on a quick side note, I have a prediction. I have a prediction that in November and December of 2020 and January as well, there's going to be a lot of births. Okay, there's a lot of people quarantined, can't go to work, around, their loved ones a lot more these days, and people get bored. People gonna get to know each other. Husband and wife gonna get to know each other a lot more. Just look at towards the end of the year, early next year, is gonna be a lot of births. I predict. Um, I was looking at an article and they were talking about now theaters closing. It's no shock. It's not going to be any shock to anyone, but it says that AMC Cinemark closed all U.S. theaters as cinemas across the country go dark amid coronavirus, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them, guys. I mean, there's really not much we can do. Okay, not much we can do. It's rough. One thing I do get nervous. A lot of things are shutting down, and I know one thing that shouldn't shut down, but if it were to shut down, it'll throw the world into chaos, and that is the internet. You shut down the internet, it's over, man. It is pandemonium. Forget pandemic. We'll switch from pandemic to pandemonium. Okay, so this is like the only thing. There's gonna be a whole lot of binge watching going on right now. Everyone's trying to keep themselves occupied, and man, let's just hope let's hope the internet doesn't go down. I was looking at another crazy article. I may get to it a little bit later. But at anyway, it says the nationwide shutdown of virtually all cinemas is unprecedented and could last at least 6 to 12 weeks. We're talking 3 months, potentially disrupting the prime summer release schedule. Yeah, it's gonna mess it up, because that's most movies those where the blockbusters come from. Those where a lot of money come from, all around these breaks, mainly the summer, and then the winter break and spring break. They strategically release movies around these times. That's where they make a lot of their money. I talk about it because I used to work in the theater, managed movie theaters. The 3 largest theater chains in the United States have announced that all of their movie theaters will close indefinitely as cinemas go dark across the country due to the coronavirus pandemic. On Tuesday, Cinemark said it is closing all of its 345 sites temporarily as a proactive measure in support of its employees, guests, and communities. The announcement came following AMC Theaters and Regal Cinemas saying Monday that all their theaters will shutter. Okay, noting that these are absolutely unprecedented and evolving times. Cinemark CEO Mark Zorati said in a statement, "The decision to go dark was incredibly tough, but we know it is the right thing to do as global coronavirus concerns continue to escalate." AMC Theaters is closing all of its U.S. locations for at least 6 to 12 weeks as cinemas across the country go dark in unprecedented fashion due to the coronavirus pandemic. AMC, the largest chain in the country, with roughly 630 locations and 11,000 screens, made its announcement Monday night after a raft of other circuits announced closures throughout the day, beginning with Regal Cinemas, the second largest movie chain in the U.S. Regal came up in the world. AMC is the only one to indicate how long theaters expected to stay closed, raising the prospect that the May and June release calendars could be severely impacted. Yeah, that's true. Regal simply said until further notice, while studios have delayed event picks from March to May, including Universal's F9 and Disney's Marvel movie Black Widow films such as Warner Brothers' Wonder Woman 1986, Chris Nolan's Tenet, and musical In the Heights, Disney, Pixar, Soul, and Paramount's anticipated sequel Top Gun Maverick are still on the June and July calendar. They're gonna have to change that. If no theater is showing it, then I don't know what this says about Disney Plus, but hey, Hollywood and the film industry stand to lose many billions at the box office. This is true. If theaters stay closed through May, the deficit globally could be $17 billion, according to analysts. The week began with a White House press conference on Monday in which guidance was given for Americans to avoid social gatherings of more than 10 people. AMC, like all chains, said it made its determination to shut down in compliance with local, state, and federal directives as a precaution to help ensure the health and safety of moviegoers and staff. The company said it will continue to monitor the situation closely and stress it will remain flexible in terms of reopening. Quote, we are ever so disappointed for our movie-going guests and for our employee teams that the new CDC guidelines that Americans should not gather in groups more than 10 people make it impossible to open our theaters. That is true. Say AMC CEO Adam Aron in a statement. Still, the health and well-being of AMC guests and employees and of all Americans take precedence above all else. Since the weekend, more than a dozen states and locales have mandated that movie theaters, bars, restaurants must close, including the New York City and Los Angeles, the country's two busiest movie-going markets. AMC's top-grossing location is the AMC Empire 25 in New York City's Times Square, across the street from Regal Ewok. Five other chains also announced plans to close on Monday. The Landmark, Harkins Theaters, the Alamo Drafthouse Cinemas, Showcase Cinemas, and Bowtie Cinemas. Both the Landmark and the Alamo are indie chains similar to ArcLight and Pacific Theaters, which are likely to go dark sometime on Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, they're going down. They're going down. People are not gathering in theaters, guys. It's not going to happen. Exhibition source tell the Hollywood Reporter they expect most, if not all, cinemas to follow suit by the end of the week. All told, the country's boasts more than 5,400 theaters. Goodbye for now, but we'll be back. Read a poignant notice posted on the Alamo Drafthouse website early Monday evening. When we reopen after this unprecedented and indefinite hiatus, it will be in a dramatically altered world and in an industry that's been shaken to its core. We'll be in the close contact over the coming days and weeks with our team, suppliers, and colleagues on what these closures mean and what we plan to do next. Major theater chains have tried to adjust their protocols multiple times amid the fast-moving coronavirus pandemic, but closure became inevitable, similar to much of Europe and major Asian markets such as China, where there has been a complete blackout on moviegoing for 7 weeks. Also on Monday, Canadian exhibition giant Cineplex said it will be shutting down all of its locations until April the 2nd. At some point, you have to stop the bleeding, said one exhibition source about trying to stay open as movie going plummets. Okay, studios are delaying high-profile films, and in case of NBC Universal, releasing current movies on the premium VOD in an effort to maintain some of the pipeline revenue. So they're gonna probably switch to streaming and maybe do some pay-per-view or something like that. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Someone may jump in that water and say, you know what, we're gonna release a movie and it'll be completely pay-per-view. So we'll see. Let's see. On Monday, NBC Universal said it would be offering Universal's The Hunt and the Invisible Man and Focus Features Emma for rent on various platforms as early as Friday. Consumers can rent the titles for $20 for 48 hours. An April animated film Trolls World Tour will open day and date on premium VOD and in those theaters that remain open in various parts of the globe. As of Monday, there were 181,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus globally and 4,287 in the U.S. per Johns Hopkins University's case tracker. Okay, so 181,127 confirmed globally, and then you got 4,287 in the U.S. alone. Okay, so that's the news on the movie-going front, guys. This completely affects our way of life. Okay, this completely. This is why you see other people. You saw some of my other videos, and you see in other videos that you watch from other people, you see that they're saying, it's complete paradigm shift. Okay, that we're gonna go back. It's gonna be a new normal. Okay, it'll resemble the way it was, but it won't be exactly the way it was. It's the same thing when I use the example of 9/11, right? And going to the airport. that thing, it is definitely different. We just got used to it, but it completely changed. It completely changed for those who's old enough to remember how it was flying pre 9/11 and post 9/11. So let's just keep that in mind, guys. This is like, I don't know. It's like Aladdin and Jasmine say, it's a whole new world, and that's how it's gonna be. A lot of concerns, a lot of differences and stuff like that. Hey, I hope you guys stay prepared out there, man, and just keep your head on a swivel because things are changing. We look at it in sports, we look at it in business, we look at the schools, local municipalities. We're looking at huge differences. Cruise ships, it doesn't matter. It's all changing. It is all different, and when it goes back, it's not going back to normal. It's going back to a new normal. But you guys have my thoughts on it. Let me hear yours. Put it in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. And I'm gonna see you guys on the